All right, so here we go with our first spotlighted Filipina climate action leader. I'm so excited to have this conversation, this opportunity to be talking with Lanie Francisco today. She's the founder of Bokashi Pinoy and someone who jumped into our challenge and actually had a lot of experience doing what we were trying to do. And so we've learned so much from Lanie and been so excited to watch the Bokashi Pinoy spread. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome, Lanie.
Hi, Joanne. Thank you for having me and giving us an opportunity to share what we have done with the Green Team Academy in the Philippines.
We're going to start with how we got started, and then we're going to ask Lanie for her suggestions as we're doing during this Future of Climate Action series of where does she see that we can collaborate? What can we do together? How can we be more? So, Lanie, do you want to start with how did you find out about Green Team Academy and what was your first experience?
Okay, so I found out about the Green Team Academy through another climate action leader, Clarence Gio of seed4.com. And I think he works with Dan Guess at that time. It's right in the middle of the pandemic. I know that when we were working with individual households in the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, at some point I knew that we will be working with communities, but coming from an engineering background, I really do not have an idea how to engage the communities. And I don't know how it happened, but somehow I think Clarence suddenly just shared with me the International Climate Action Challenge, and I think the rest was history. Again, the motivation for joining the climate action challenge was really to figure out how I can organize our advocates, our individual advocates into communities. So I think we joined in year 2021, and then I had another 3 groups joining in year 2022.
How interesting, too, that we both come to this from engineering backgrounds, really completely clueless of how to work in communities. And yet that has been what we've both seen as the strength. So maybe that's why we love each other so much.
Click, yes.
Exactly.
We click.
Exactly. So I remember that when you started the challenge, you already had a 30-day challenge that you were teaching people with Bokashi Pinoy. Do you want to tell people what Bokashi is and what the general idea is of that 30-day experience?
Bokashi is a Japanese term for fermenting food waste. It's just a way of treating our food waste so that it will not attract pests. What we are teaching households in the 30-day garbage to garden challenge is not just the method, but also teaching them how to create an identity for themselves as climate action leaders, even if they're just in the households. If we just focus on the technology and the method, people will actually go by the wayside. They will lose focus. They will lose motivation. The 30-day challenge teaches them how to advocate for the environment by just reducing their food waste at home. The first people that we need to motivate to be part of the movement is our family members, the people in our household. And then we realized that as soon as we got a lot of household advocates, there's a lot of the household advocates who are also asking us to reach out to their communities, to the barangay captains and the mayors, so that it will become more like a scaled up version of the 30-day challenge. And again, at that time, coming from an engineering background, and maybe also the reason why I listened to Joanne very carefully during the challenge is because all of the challenges that she faced when she was starting as a climate action leader was the same challenges that I was facing at that time. I have all of the passion, the grit, and the technical know-how on how to engage people at an individual level, but I do not know how to make it scalable, and I do not know how to make it visible to stakeholders and to government leaders. And so I literally just followed your guidance. If you're clueless, just follow somebody who has done it before.
Right.
Just follow it as it is. And then maybe, because that's also how I trained the advocates for the 30-day challenge. I keep on saying, just follow my method for now. If you're clueless, just follow it. But after the challenge, you can do it and you can tweak it. And that's how I also followed your guidance in the climate action challenge workbook. I just followed it to a T. But on the second year, somehow I actually tweaked it to make it more adaptable to the Philippine setting. But the first time I joined the challenge, I literally just followed your guidance, the workbook itself.
One of the things I remember that your team did was your day of action was fantastic. And that really is one of the
Yes.
key things of in the Climate Action Challenge, understanding the language of how you motivate people and you engage them. A lot of it is through photos and through experiences, going from individuals to a community. I feel like that you were really able to make that leap during the
Yes.
first year of the 90-day challenge.
Yes, I was quite fortunate to have people who are equally passionate, especially in the beginning on year one. In fact, that day of action video was created by volunteers. So we had small video clips and pictures, and somehow all of them banded together to create that day of action. It's something that we have really planned to do anyways, just that we have no clue on how to do it properly and how to make it more impact. So the guidance from the International Climate Action actually helped us. There's a lot of other non-government organizations, especially in the Philippines, who are really quite sophisticated in creating these are audio video presentations. But for Bokashi Pinoy, we're really not that sophisticated. We are like everyday people. We come from different backgrounds. Doing something like this is totally new to us. I think it's a mixture of having the right people joining us with the burning desire to do something for the environment and to take that leap to do something, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. I think what really resonates for all of us is that you said something like about 2% of your time for the environment is enough. 2% of your time for the environment is just 15 minutes a day. And I think for the 30-day challenge, it actually resonates for everyone. And the biggest challenge at that time was really how to bring it to the community. And I think at this point in time, I could say that we were a success in the last 2 years in engaging communities because right now we are already engaging the city. Our mantra right now is not just one bucket at a time. It became one community at a time. And maybe next year it's going to be one city at a time.
You and I both said that when we first got going, I really didn't understand about getting a lot of partners and asking city government for what we wanted. And when you start realizing that the city works for us, they're representing us, but if we don't tell them, hey, we have this idea and we've demonstrated it, then we're being negligent on our side. Being able to find ways to communicate that and have cities actually pick up on the idea is pretty fantastic. And especially when you never really dreamed that it could happen.
Yeah. I was always reluctant in engaging the city government. I think it's because of my preconceived notions of corrupt government officials. And I think it wasn't easy for us in the beginning. It took me 2 years to get to a point wherein the right city government partner is part of Pinoy. Because having a sponsor is one thing, right? We did get some sponsorship, but it's not that big. So I had to make sure that the fund is properly used. Choosing the right government partner is also very critical. In the beginning of the year, in 2023, we were able to partner with a government agency for the city who actually have the same vision in terms of organizing communities. They're not really environmentally focused. The other government agencies' mandate is just to make urban farming joyful. We have won the issue around creating dignified green jobs around green social enterprises, and also the battle around climate action as being fun. But the battle of making people to understand that it is beyond that. We're doing this not because we just want to have fun. We're actually trying to preserve or restore the environment for the next generation. So that's the next battle. But I'm seeing hope that if the biggest city in the Philippines was able to give us attention and to give us the acknowledgement that we deserve, then I think it's possible to also engage the other cities in the Philippines as well.
Yes, for sure. I think maybe you're so close to it. Maybe you're forgetting like how amazing this is.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking of all the things you need to do and how it's all going to work and everything. When did you start Bokashi Pinoy?
2019, so about 4 years now. Yeah, I know. I'm very impatient, Joanne. That's why.
But this is what we want people to understand. is that when you have an idea, like they say, the only way that you can fail is if you give up.
Yeah.
And so if you have an idea and you just really believe that it's a good idea, those first few years are probably going to be hard because people won't understand what you're saying. You won't know how to say it in a way that makes it interesting. That one exercise that we do, which is write your list of 100 partners, most people object. Like, but then after they get going, they realize, oh, I actually do have 100 partners, and now this is why it's starting to work. It really does take a lot of people. And so we're going to link to the video series. The first one came out, and there's going to be 3 more where you can see the work that Bokashi Pinoy is doing with Quezon City in all the different districts.
The videos were actually produced by the Quezon City government on behalf of Bokashi Pinoy. So it documents the journey of the participants of the 30-day garbage to garden challenge in each of the 6 districts of Quezon City. The first video that you will see after this event is the 30-day journey of the District 1, District 3, District 4, and the employees of the Quezon City government last March. Then the second video, which will be released next week, is about District 2. That's the biggest district in Quezon City, and that's actually where I reside as well, composed of 4 big barangays. In Quezon City, we are divided by barangay. And then the third one will be District 5 of Quezon City, and then District 6. All of them actually has gone through the 30-day garbage to garden challenge. And the reason why I'm quite proud of this video series is because it's actually inspired by the climate action video, the 1-minute climate action videos that we have created in 1 and 22. It's just a bit longer though. I think it's 3 minutes to 5 minutes, but it's actually inspired by that. So it provides you a glimpse of how ordinary people, ordinary homemakers, and ordinary government employees can actually do something to reduce their food waste while having fun, and at the same time getting some level of awareness on how little action can actually have a positive or negative impact to our environment.
I'm so excited to share these videos. And just to underscore what Lanie said earlier, is that Quezon City is the largest city.
Yes, it is the biggest city
in the Philippines.
Yes.
And you started with this in 20, and now the city government in the largest city in the Philippines is deploying this. And not only that, but they're going the extra step and creating the videos to do the storytelling, to document the storytelling and allowing people to tell their stories. It's a very powerful thing. And I will have to let Nick Zakar know about that, because he is the National Geographic photographer that did our first training of how to create a 1-minute video, because none of us knew how to do it.
And this time, the Quezon City government actually hired she's a professional storyteller. She really understands what she's talking about. So she even finished the 30-day challenge.
The Bokashi challenge. And I think some of the small clips in there from some of the participants and different people expressing in their own words why they did it and how important it is gorgeous. And I think another interesting thing that you're saying is that what's working is something that's joyful. So the joy of urban farming, as well as dignified green jobs. And maybe if those 2 things are working and people just want to do them, then as they experience it, they will start to understand. But I think maybe we've been going about it backwards, of trying to tell people how important it is, and then they realize, oh, it's fun.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I think we started with doom and gloom, and then we decided to just say, oh, it's actually fun. I have to also maybe retrace my journey, because when I started this, I'm not really that environmentally aware. I was just doing it for fun. Honestly, I was just trying to distress. And then I realized,
Right.
oh, there's so many interconnected things. I think that's the engineer in us, right? This year, I had a very huge awakening to say that, Lani, you actually started as somebody who's clueless about climate change. You just did this for fun. So when I traced when I started, I remembered, oh, I started this because I was going through something and I thought I want to do something different. I started farming and I started composting. And then I decided, oh, this actually makes sense and it creates jobs for somebody. So I think my first milestone was creating jobs for the farmers, for the landless farmers that I came in contact with when I was in the province. And then it just built on me. And I probably have to empathize with our new participants to say that, you know what, a lot of people are also just having to go through something in their lives and walk them through that. So whenever I try to advocate for Bokashi Pinoy, I would say, you know what, regardless of your food waste or regardless of the scarcity in food or regardless of everything that's going on in the world right now, there's something that I want to share with you. I want you to experience what I have experienced when I did this, when I started this in 2018. And this is how I started. And people started relating to it. And that's when they keep on saying when they finish a 30-day challenge, they say, oh, I had so much fun. And sometimes I wondered why, oh, really? You had so much fun. And I thought I was actually very serious when I was talking about climate change. But no, actually they had fun in engaging with the activity itself, in having to do something of value, even if they're just at home, because most of our participants are homemakers. Actually, a lot of them are like me, people like me. They have to take care of young kids or somebody or a parents who's going through old age, something like that. And at the same time, they wanted to do something significant. So I think it's about making people attach to the mission rather than to the technology,
Yeah.
to the seriousness of the whole climate action thing. It's more of meaningful action and purpose.
Yeah. And I
Mm,
think the community being part of
mm.
something outside of that prescribed family or whatever, you're stepping outside of all the other problems. The other word I'm thinking is healing too. It sounds like it's a
Yes,
very
it
healing
is.
experience. When you
Mm,
go through something and you have a coach,
mm.
someone's, I believe in you, you can do this,
Yes,
whether you're
yes.
learning piano or
Mm.
guitar or bokashi or starting something new, to have
Yes,
someone that's really cheering you on and other people
yes.
doing it, it's a very fulfilling experience, even if the results aren't quite what you thought they were going to be. Just having that attention and encouragement.
I was amazed that my food waste became compost and the compost is used to grow food. But seeing it in others, that they're mirroring what you have experienced, is actually brings you to a next level of accomplishment. I
And
just
I
hope
think a
that
lot
every
of,
climate action is like that there's an element of fun, a sense of accomplishment, that they're forgetting their problems when they join your activities.
so what would you say, Lanie? So we're planning to host the 2024 International Climate Action Challenge. Maybe there's people that haven't heard of this much
Mm,
before or haven't heard of Green Team Academy. One or two people are thinking of a project and they're not sure if they should do it. What would be your advice for
mm.
them?
For those who are contemplating to join the International Climate Action Challenge, I say, especially if you're starting from scratch, you have an idea and you do not know how to implement it, and you know that you need other people to implement it. You can do it on your own, or you can do it with a group of people who have already done it before and who has a recipe, a tested recipe in getting started and getting you off the ground. I think this is it because in the international climate action, whoever it is, whatever type of activities that you are planning to do, it's important for stakeholders, corporations, or especially government agencies to also take part in it in order for it to be scalable, because individual actions is good, but being able to organize yourselves into a formalized group gives you an opportunity to be heard in ways that you have never imagined. It's like creating a platform or a loudspeaker in order to communicate what you have done, what you are planning to do, and how you want to do it so that people can support you. Because advocacy has several levels. You can advocate for somebody who has no voice, but there's somebody who needs to advocate for you as well, because at some point you'll get tired. At some point you will lose resources, whether it's monetary or even time and effort. Something happens and somebody has to back you up. So being able to organize yourselves and get your activities out in the open so that other people can support you is very important. Again, you can do it on your own, trial and error, but I can guarantee you that it will take you more time and it will take you a lot more heartache, other than instead of just joining the International Climate Action Challenge, where everything is already written for you. You just have to follow it to a T and be disciplined in following all of those work instructions. And then once you have done it at least once, at least for 1 year, you can do it again the next year, this time with some experience from the past year. So I think it makes sense for us to understand that learning is not one time, big time experience. It's a
Right.
continuous learning journey. So you have to keep doing it until you come to a point where you can say, oh, now I'll stop participating in the challenge. This time I want to become a mentor or a coach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's awesome. What we do is say, come together, figure out what you're about, do a pilot, take some pictures, tell
Mm.
people what you want to do, and then you get that kind of credibility. And they need you. They need you to come together
Yes.
and bring them
Yeah.
these kinds of ideas. So you're the
Mm.
solution to them. All right. And so then, Lanie, the last thing is so our series is called The Future of Climate Action. What do you think? What be some of your dreams of how we could maybe collaborate in the future, or how could Green Team Academy and
Mm.
Bokashi Pinoy or groups in the Philippines, how could we do more together, have more impact?
Okay, so one, and this is my dream for quite some time now, that there will be a Green Team Academy chapter in the Philippines or in every continent. There's a Green Team Academy in
Yeah,
Asia, Green Team whatever, and then we have Green Team Academy per country wherein you are represented. The reason why we need to be represented is because a lot of legislations and policies are also influenced by people's association. And right now we are outnumbered. We are outnumbered here in the Philippines. And so I think having the Green Team Academy in each of the countries would allow us to create movements, people's association, so that we will have a voice in the People's Council for legislation and policy changes. Number two is that
of
aside
course.
from the International Climate Action Challenge, that we will also have something like mini challenges that's already available off the shelf, and that will give them an idea on how they can create their own climate action programs based on those off the shelf programs. So that's my dream, that we will have maybe on your Green Team Academy platform, we will have the 30-day challenge there. And then there's other challenges that's based on reforestation or something like that. Something to the effect that Dunges can also create a program wherein people will have shared experiences. The idea is always experiential and shared experience.
Yes, I love that too. That idea that,
Mm.
you've already got something that's working, that you've really honed
Mm.
in with all these
Mm.
different people from, as your video talks about, diverse
Mm.
backgrounds, city
Mm.
employees and homemakers.
Mm.
And so you have a system that works. And so that's what we need to do, is be sharing
Mm.
those different experiences of those kind of
Mm.
here's something that you can do.
Mm.
And honestly, like I remember when I was with Sustainable Revolution Longmont, we did
Mm.
composting first because we had a list of 27 things,
Mm. To
but
do.
yeah, but we had one idea because there was a nonprofit who was getting composting going. And so it's a lot of it is more about engaging the community and
Yes.
people feeling that they do have a voice, they do have power, they can make a difference, and it is fun.
Yes.
And so that first thing that they do is really a stepping stone. And so I love what you're saying here. And so during this time period, we really are just opening ourselves up to what's happening
Mm.
with you and what is your advice for us and how can we work together. So we really appreciate you finding
Mm.
the time. It's early in the morning for you and getting late in the evening for me, but we always seem to find time to connect and collaborate. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you as well, because you give me the validation that I needed, that I'm doing what I need to do, that this is the path that I decided to take and that I should continue. So keep doing what you do, because a lot of
Yeah.
people are probably just like me. We need validation that
Yeah.
we're on the right track.
And I think what you said earlier too about what we're really doing is we're teaching people to become community leaders.
Mm.
And we actually can't even tell them that to start with. They just want to start with a little idea. And
Yes.
that's what we want them to do. Start with a little idea, have some fun, do something enjoyable where you feel some accomplishment. But soon you're going to find that you are becoming a community leader, which is what we wanted all along. So we're excited to hear from all of the community leaders that you're helping get going and see what all is next for Bokashi Pinoy and Green Team Academy. All right.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
Okay, thank you.